Here is the how to operate the loader, and this is perfect. I got a flat tire, I'll throw that in too. What to do with the flat tire. This is cold start on the loader. In this case, it has not been started for a couple weeks, probably 2 weeks at least, in the cold here, February. The key, turn it on and hold it just past that initial start point to engage the glow plugs. I hold about 10 to 15 seconds. And then I let go of the key. I turn it all the way off again. Turn it back on. Try to start it up. I crank it about 5 to 6 seconds, all the way back off again. The next time I crank it, I'll have the throttle on a little bit, just a little bit, to try to get it to catch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click it. There's no glow plugs activated until I turn the key just slightly past. Then the glow plugs come in. Another 10-15 seconds. Turn the key off. Turn it back on with a little bit of throttle on this time. Go to crank it. It's almost there, so I'm going to let it ride. Back off the throttle so it's just gently idling. The machine is in harmony. Let off the throttle when the engine is cold, it'll choke out. Just like that. Turn the key off immediately. Go to restart processes again. I didn't have my foot on the throttle that time, it died out. It's cold. Needs a little extra help there. Throttle's on. I will keep this throttle engaged. I'll keep my foot here for 10, 20, 30 seconds, whatever the engine needs. Once the engine's warm enough, I can let my foot off the throttle and the machine should not die. On really cold days, do not leave the shop without first starting the machine, letting it idle until the needle is picked up off the pin. Don't leave if that pin, if the needle is still on that pin. Once it picks up a little bit, you're good. You can shut her down and head off to the first job. This is on extreme cold mornings. Basically anything 32 and under as far as degrees go in Fahrenheit. Test out the loader. I'm backing off the throttle slightly. Okay, the engine's warm enough now to where it can idle and warm up the rest of the way by itself. That is the cold start process. All right, this is a brief how to operate the machine. Cold start's already been taken care of. We have a flat tire. Tires are good on this side. These chains will not typically be here. This is just because we stored it in the shop over the weekend or over the winter. These chains should actually be in the clamshells. Okay, go to turn the machine on. Before turning it on all the way, let the gauges cycle. on. You'll need just a tiny bit of throttle in some cases, just a tiny bit. Now right now this machine is in neutral. There's no arrows indicating I'm going to go forward or backwards. Keep in mind we still have a flat tire. We have the clutch here, and you have the throttle here. Steering, of course. Anytime you steer this machine, you need to have some throttle. If you don't have throttle, it'll choke out and die. Especially if you have a load. So slightly throttled up. I do have my foot on the clutch. I'm still in neutral. Here's forward. Here's backwards. Little switch here. When the machine is off and it turns on, in order to engage it for the first time and drive forward or backwards, there's a little trigger on the bottom of this joystick. Click that. Now there's an arrow telling you which direction you're going. If you don't see an arrow, you're in neutral. I'm gonna back up. Make sure my boom is raised up so I'm not dragging. Gentle, as kind as I possibly can on that tire. My priority right now is to get air in this tire. What I don't want to do is cut that cord with the rim portion that's digging into the ground. Just take the extra care. Throw the cord up over. Cord is out of the way. Muddy hands. Good. Better than ice. This tire is very flat. It's sat in the shop for the last couple weeks unused. Really the whole December. From December. I don't have to get on the concrete. If I get on the concrete, it'll put extra strain between the rubber and the rim. This is where we fill up. We fill up the airs to the tires. It's a GDT. Make sure when you put this back, it's all the way to the stopper. You don't want this dragging as you drive. It'll eat this entire hose. It has happened. The GDT is on from previous instructional video on how to operate. I'm still going forward, going backwards now with the joystick. I'm also slightly boomed out. No, I'm not. So I am currently throttled in, no clutch. I will put the clutch in now. I can keep my foot on the throttle, the same pressure, and just clutch in for brake. Slightly let out the clutch and we get going again. Now, if I want to use the functions of this boom to pick up this pile, I'll go in, clutch, until I want to stop, get in there, pick it up. I'll pile it up into a second pile. Very smooth operation. That is piled. When using this motor, use both the clutch and the throttle at the same time as you go. That way you can keep constant pressure. I'm moving to neutral here. No arrows, neutral. That way I can keep constant pressure on the throttle, delegate what's needed with the clutch. I'm going forward, clutch in, go backwards, clutch in, forwards, clutch in, backwards. Do not be in motion, don't go forward, and then go reverse without clutching in. It will burn up this truck, this machine. Now, joystick operations. Pretty simple. You got two knobs here. These knobs are if you want just precision, absolute precision. I personally do not ever use the knob. I like the buttons all together. So, joystick, pull it to you. You raise the wrist, right? This part here, you're raising that up and down, up and down, up and down, out, goes down, in, brings it back, in. Now you have two buttons on the face. Top button opens up, lower button closes. You have yellow and white. Yellow will extend your boom. It gives you an additional 2-3 feet to work with. Okay? White will retract. On this side here, the only operating button is the green. The green will turn all four. It'll lock all four tires to help if you're getting in a kind of stuck situation. That operation barely works. If you're stuck, we're gonna have to pull you out. Each tire has its own motor on this machine. If I were to use one of these functions and I did not have throttle in, I would choke out the machine. You can hear the RPMs drop. I choked off the machine. Immediately, key off, key back on. Make sure you have the throttle in when you're operating. Even when you turn, when you boom out, boom in, open, close, wrist up, wrist down. All the operations you need throttle for. Now remember, I choked the engine out, so back and forth, I have no arrows. Like the little lever, the little trigger on the bottom of the joystick. Forward. Just gotta do it one time. It's a safety feature. Now I will show you how to take off the clamshells. These are the clamshells here. To take them off, you want a little space in between. You got the bolt, or the big pin, and the safety pin. It's very easy to take it out, pull the pin, pull the bolt. There it goes. Get in the habit, putting it back. That way we never lose the big pin or bolt and the little pin. Off to the side. The other one is the same way. You got the pin and the bolt. Easy enough. Now for putting the clamshell back on, I am a little high from the ground. It's easier if it's just 3-4 inches from the ground, but this can still work. Clean out the... Now we're gonna put the clamshell back on the grapple. Two things I'm going to do. I'm going to open up the clamshell just a little bit more and lower it to the ground. Once you have the track cleaned out, all you got to do is hook it, this part, over top of here. You're going to want to have your pin close by. Stick it in the hole. There are all 4 holes here. Put the pin in. Good to go. Now you're ready to clamshell. Clamshelling using this will be for final cleanup. Let's say you got all the logs moved out of the way where they should be. The large branches staged beside the GDT over here, but on a job site it would be wherever it is. So you take this clamshell, put it on. This is a one-person deal. You just go over to the pile, which we can go do that now. You want to take the best bite. You want to take the best bite you can without dragging mess all over the place. From the front to the backyard, from the backyard to the front yard. You want to make sure your pile's clean. You have to give it a little shake. Give it a little shake. Then haul off to the GDT to get it cleaned up. Or to the dump truck. Or the dump trailer, however the cleanup process is for that job. If you're operating the loader and you extend the wrist all the way down, you extend it all the way down, but pulling it back won't raise it up due to the weight load that it's under, put it to the ground. Put it to the ground at the same time you're going forward, pull it in. Curl that wrist, just like that. You'll get it when it's stuck hanging down, you'll be able to put pressure on it and bring it back up. Now, for these 2 buttons here, this button doesn't do anything for us. As you can see, our light does not work. We don't even have one anymore. The red here, parking, it's engaged. You won't be able to drive with it in park. So just turn off park before you drive. You park on an incline, put it in park. If you load it on the trailer, so this loader, more times than not, will be loaded onto that trailer. But you can actually move with this loader. With the clamshells on, it is easiest. This is great if you need to move stuff around on the job site. That is way less than ideal. If you gotta be that rough with it, figure out a different way to do stuff. Next, we'll go into the operations of the trailer, how to load this machine onto the trailer safely and legally.